Have you ever had horrible feedback from an agent, and how did you react? Yeah, I get I get horrible feedback. I mean, we have a reputation of selling difficult listings, and some of them aren't in the best of shape. I mean, that's especially true when it's land. You know, I'll have a land listing, and I'll have a manufactured house on it, and it'll be in bad shape, and but you know the value is in the dirt, and so even though we say that, we tell them that, we take pictures of it, it's all disclosed and everything, people will still be like, I can't believe how horrible this trailer is. And I was like, well, really, it was 50 acres. We weren't putting any value on the trailer. So that seems a little bit funny. But I've gotten some rough feedback many times. And, you know, most of the time it's been deserved. But I tried to, I don't do any kind of trickeration with my photos or my language. I let people know. I mean, we got to know if there's a picture of a 100-year-old house, and you know the windows are broken, and there's no pictures of the inside, and then all the pictures are of the land. Well, obviously the value's in the land, and there's a reason why we're not taking or showing pictures of the inside. Um, this happens a lot of the time on like raw land or older properties or properties with acreage. And yeah, I mean, I got a bad review just last week. She gave us a bunch of ones and pours throughout the interview. They said they were not interested, and then they made an offer. This was a $275,000 property, and they offered 50,000. I'm like, what? 50,000 on 275? That was a complete waste of time for them and for me. Um, I wanted to figure out what was going on, so I said, "Can you give me more details about the offer?" It wasn't a full written offer; it was just an email offer, and I think part of it was just to take a jab at me. But she said because the outbuildings don't have permits. I was like, oh, this is Chatham County. Outbuildings don't have to have permits, but the carry agents and the Chapel Hill agents want everything to have permits, and we don't always do permits out here, especially for farm buildings and outbuildings don't require a permit. So you have to feel bad for someone like that. Well, I mean, one of the things I always do is like I check and see if it's your first land transaction or if your first Chatham County transaction, and if it is, you know, I mean, if you've been selling condos and expensive houses and townhomes, and then you come out and show 10 acres in the middle of nowhere, 20 acres in the middle of nowhere, and it has a couple old outbuildings on it, and then you tell me it's only worth 50,000. I know you don't know what you're doing. And then the person said, oh, they looked it up. It was it was zoned R1, and it was 11 acres. So they figured out that they could put 11 houses on. I was like, no, you can't put 11 houses on. I even told them that this is uh, this is proof that it might be you might be in over your head, and you should partner up with somebody that did have some experience with land transactions. And they took offense to that, but that's really we're supposed to be following Article 11 of the Code of Ethics, and I'm sure that's why I got my rough feedback. Um, I know her team boss, and that woman's a top producer. And they're really good at what they do, but um, once I told her she needed to partner up with someone that knew what they were doing, it kind of went downhill from there. The other feedback I got last week was just as bad, or worse even. It was a cute little historic house in downtown, and I got ones and not interested, and horrible, and worst experience, and overpriced, and for recommendations they put tear it down, and uh, I we might be a little bit aggressive on the price. I'm not going to say that, you know. I mean, obviously, it's been on the market for a few months and hasn't sold, so we're probably a little higher, a little aggressive on the price. But I would never say tear it down. The worst feedback I get is when an agent says they fill out the top portion, they say not interested, and they don't do anything else. That all that's doing is showing system that you did the feedback, but it's of no value whatsoever. I mean, not interested. Okay, I get it. You're not interested. Okay, but like not interested is not like how can I have? I'm not gonna. I don't gain any value from that. I don't have anything to tell my seller. The other weird feedbacks that I get is it was too far. Really? So, you needed to drive out there to see that it was too far. Um, the primary bedroom wasn't on the first floor. Okay, well, you knew that before you drove out there, so that seems like a waste of time. We just started looking, or my clients just started looking. Okay, but that doesn't tell me. I mean, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting any valuable information from that. Um, it needs a garage. Okay, well, we told you it didn't have a garage before you came out there. So if you needed a garage, maybe you shouldn't look at properties that don't have a garage. So my point is, if even if you're a buyer, the sellers really want some constructive feedback. So make sure that you're working with an agent. I mean, nothing pleases me more than even if they don't like it or whatever. When somebody gives me constructive feedback, if they go, you know what, Eric, the house was great, but the mauve in the dining room not so great. Well, if I get that 2 or 3 times, then now I can have a conversation. And I say, look, Joe Seller, this is the third time they've told us about the mauve in the dining room. We got to paint the dining room. I mean, that's constructive feedback. So you don't have to like it, and you don't have to bring me an offer or whatever. And you can think it's overpriced, or you can tell me that they're not interested. But I still need some constructive feedback. And this is there's not a big circle of real estate agents. We cross paths. We might come across each other again, and like we're gonna remember, and you're actually doing a better service for your future buyer if you provide good feedback, because that automatically reminds the listing broker, okay, this is a good agent. This is somebody I want to work with. Like the last time they showed something that didn't work out, but he or she gave me good constructive feedback, and it's just, I know it's a professional. You do not interested or too far, you're a schmucky schmuck, and we're going to remember you. And you're not doing your job, and this is the time where agents better step up and act like they know what they're doing and doing their job.